Welcome back to Excel, a mental evolution podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Seth Rose. And today is episode 41, where we are talking about the yes and reframing technique. So, we're going to explore a simple yet powerful mental reframing technique called the yes and this strategy can really transform the way that you perceive challenges or threats and turning them into potential opportunities for growth, and also looking at potential setbacks and how they can be transformed into future successes. So, oftentimes, our immediate reaction to disappointment or setbacks is to dwell on it or to be negative about it. We're human beings and we're kind of negative in nature by design to help protect us. But oftentimes these can spiral into more negative emotions or stress or unhappiness. But what if we can flip that script? And that's where the yes and comes in. So this technique, borrowed from the improv theater realm, allows us to acknowledge the situation for what it is and to pivot to a more productive or positive perspective or an action or a behavior, so that way we can do versus think. So in improv, yes and is about accepting what another actor is presenting to you and then adding to it. I remember back in high school, I had to take a half a semester of theater, and that was one of the exercises that we had to do. Quite difficult to kind of hold character and also to go with, whatever's on your mind, and it adds to like a creative element to thinking as well. So, but applied in everyday life, the yes and means accepting the reality for what it is. That's the yes part. And then adding a productive spin on it or finding a new opportunity or behavior or action, that's the and part. So let's break down some practical examples. So the first one, imagine you're working on a project at work and then suddenly you hit a major snag that sets you back for a week or two. A typical reaction might be disappointment or frustration, but with the yes and, you might say to yourself, yes, this setback is frustrating, and this gives me an opportunity to review our work a little bit more in detail and improve it. So notice how I'm accepting that the setback is frustrating, but I'm adding the spin to make things a little bit more productive. Another scenario could be maybe you're receiving constructive criticism from a peer or a boss, and you might think something like, yes, this feedback is tough to hear, and it's a chance to grow and excel in the areas that I really didn't focus on before. So that's the yes and reframing. It's a simple but not easy technique to start. But really the simple start to this is to practice just adding that yes and to situations day in and day out. So that way when something comes up that is maybe bad or negative, you'll have a little bit more productive response to it, so that way you can reframe it appropriately. All right, thanks for sticking around today, and we'll catch you on the next one.